Every year, thousands of British couples jet off to one sunny island to get hitched. Cyprus has become a marriage magnet for UK lovebirds. And keeping the confetti coming,
Higher!
meet the British wedding planners.
Oh, fiddle-dee-do.
These expat troubleshooters
That could have been a disaster, but I had to jump in.
have traded in rainy Blighty for a life in the sun.
I can feel the sweat dripping everywhere.
Their mission? Planning hundreds of fantasy weddings every year. But getting their couples down the aisle
You've literally got 6 minutes.
isn't always plain sailing.
Come on, Superman!
So can they please their brides, grooms and wedding guests
If anything goes wrong, it's poor Angela on the chopping block.
who arrive by the plane load and deliver the dream weddings their clients have set their hearts on?
All I can say is, let action begin.
On today's show,
I think it needs to be cooler.
the father of one bride takes control.
In England, we like cold.
This is the opinion.
A couple tie themselves in knots over a Scottish tradition.
Oh, this is way complex. Look, she just got punched in the face and everything. That's how complex it is.
And tourists threaten to interrupt a church ceremony.
Do not enter.
Hi, sorry. Sorry, we've got a wedding on today. If I could just please 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
With 300 days of sunshine a year, it's little wonder the former British colony of Cyprus is a huge draw for those wanting to marry abroad. And keen to cater for a bride and groom's every need is 55-year-old Angela Bence.
Right, how does that feel? I love every single wedding, personally.
She's been a wedding planner for 8 years
It's Angela.
and now works for one of the largest hotel chains on the island, organising hundreds of ceremonies a season across the whole of Cyprus.
Put that all there. I'm not afraid of throwing my weight around to get things done. Camille, bottles, I need bottles. It has to be 100% perfect. Magic, we're rocking and rolling. Yes.
Placing their trust in Angela to deliver a lavish wedding are education workers 35-year-old Chris and his soon-to-be wife 32-year-old Laura,
Thank you.
who've just arrived at their 5-star hotel from their home in China.
We're here.
And planner Angela is there to surprise them.
I'm actually very excited on this wedding. I've had many messenger chats with the bride. She's actually been planning her wedding from China. I'm really like, yes, it's time, she's here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, finally. You all right? You're all right.
There's so many wonderful things.
2 years in the planning, the newlyweds-to-be have set their hearts on a luxury hotel wedding.
Wow. Beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh my gosh.
I think we'll be all right here.
Yeah, me too.
Their 80 guests will see them married in a seafront pergola overlooking the sparkling Mediterranean before joining them for a rooftop reception, all for a budget of £16,000. The couple have been together for 5.5 years.
We first met on a social media website, made friends with Chris, and Chris asked me to go for coffee. I said, sorry, Chris, I don't like coffee. Can we go for a drink? He said, sure. So we went for a drink together, and 5.5 years later, here we are.
Just one click and that was it.
Their first date might have been straightforward, but the proposal in China was in a different league.
Chris was very different that day, and he seemed a little bit shy, and I was like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. So we're climbing up the Great Wall. I was thinking, this is a bit strange. And then Chris asked me, come over here, Laura. So I said, OK, so we're looking out at the Great Wall, amazing, picturesque.
And then I got down on one knee and said, will you marry me?
He proposed on the Great Wall of China. Amazing experience. I was very shocked, and I said yes.
And something else that makes this wedding different. Hello. Laura's dad, Bill, who's been very hands-on in the planning of the wedding.
Mum and Dad totally have ownership of our wedding. They've travelled here 3 times in the 2 years and they chose the venue that they thought would be perfect for us.
This becomes your DJ area, your dance floor. That's where you're getting married.
Oh, wow. My dad is really making sure the wine side and food is all perfectly OK. He's still in negotiations right now.
And there's one thing they are very particular about.
Wine is the real key for us, because we know people that are coming like nice wine. And that's one thing that we will have plenty of staff, won't we, to...
You have got plenty of staff.
To serve
the rest of the hotel guests can starve that night, but you've got all the
Well,
staff.
that's OK. For one night only, that's fine.
It's a big wedding.
But Dad Bill's staffing requests don't stop there. He even has specific people in mind.
Is Daniel still here?
Yeah, he's down on the pool bar now.
Oh, what, for tonight?
Do you want him up here for the night?
I would think, yeah, I would. I think he's
Not a problem.
Yeah, I think that would
Not
be nice.
a problem, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't you
that's-
worry about staff. Laura's father has actually requested a specific barman. He's built up a rapport. My job now is to see if we can get that barman. A couple of hard days for me coming up, yeah.
Weddings with backdrops of blue skies and crystal clear waters for as little as £1,500 have made Cyprus a hotspot for British brides and grooms getting hitched abroad. 45-year-old planner Joe Hayworth is based in Paphos and has devoted the last 16 years to organising weddings, whatever the budget.
Let's cheer!
The best thing about my job, for me, is about creating somebody's dream.
Bride and groom, not for me.
No matter how much experience you've got as a wedding planner, things can go wrong.
So strong, things are blowing about everywhere. Gonna be no time for a picture of the actual confetti.
Hoping nothing will dampen their wedding day are Joe's next bride and groom-to-be, 37-year-old satellite engineer Philip and 32-year-old nursery room supervisor Rachel from Newcastle. They've flown in from Staffordshire with their 2 children,
On holiday.
12-month-old Samuel and Sebastian, who's 5.
It's been near enough a year since we booked the wedding. And it feels like yesterday, and all of a sudden we're here and it's happening.
Unusually, it's groom Philip who's taken control of the big day.
Thank you.
Philip is very good at organising. He's also been very good at wedding planning.
If job needs doing, it needs doing right, doesn't it, sir?
The couple have chosen a Catholic ceremony at one of the oldest churches in Cyprus, followed by a reception at a traditional taverna. Their budget is £10,500.
As soon as we saw St Paul's, it was just beautiful, wasn't it? And it's just so different. And
Yeah. We looked at a more modern chapel down the road, but what it was like, it had just been built last week, whereas that's St Paul's obviously got the history.
But there's one issue that's out of both Philip and wedding planner Joe's control. 2,000-year-old St Paul's is a tourist attraction, with over 150,000 visitors a year.
It's always open to the public, so at any point, we don't know, there could be a coach load of, you know, Sri Lankans, a coach load of English, a coach load of Russians. So this gives us a little challenge on the day that we may have a busload of people wanting to actually come in.
Joe's meeting up with Rachel and Philip to show them round their venues. And we'll have to tackle the tricky matter of the tourists.
Hi.
Hi! Lovely to meet you.
And you.
All right, Phil. Hello. Oh, I get double kisses over here. You okay? Yes, thank you. Are you? Lovely to meet you. And you. Come on then.
Go, good.
First stop, the taverna that will host their reception.
Here we go.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Time for Joe and colleague Sarah to run through everything Philip's booked.
Top table, hanging hearts, which look lovely in the bushes and the trees, really pretty.
Just scattered around, yeah?
Yeah.
Fairy lights, which look amazing in here. Although it's pretty, it still looks lovely at night with the little fairy lights. And the little lanterns.
Do you remember me ordering this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Looks like Philip has everything under control. Or almost everything.
What have you got going on with speeches? Who's...
I haven't got anything going on with the speech at the minute.
Are you going normally? It starts off with Dad.
Yeah, then me,
and then it goes off over to you, and then it ends with the best man. So is that the order? The order. Phil, yours will be under 10 minutes-ish.
Yeah.
If he ever gets round to writing it. Next up, the seating plan. One detail Philip has left to Rachel. But she's forgotten to bring it with her.
This should have been an aeroplane job, this.
I did it. It's on
4
the table.
hours on the
table
aeroplane.
at home.
Oh, is you joking?
It's on the table at home, isn't it?
You keep looking at me as if it's my decision.
Where was I putting?
Well, I was wondering if we could have had like a little table down there and just have Sebastian and Millie.
I told you no.
That's a no. No, Phil. Phil did hold the reins at the start of the original request for the wedding, but it's definitely apparent that Rachel is, you know, she's the boss, so to speak.
Philip's organised most of the wedding, but the big speech he obviously hasn't wrote yet. I think he's just thinking if he doesn't think about it, it'll disappear and he can just speak on the day. I just wish he had, though, and then he wouldn't keep waking me up at night saying I can't sleep because I haven't wrote my speech.
Ouch. And that's before we get on to the tourists at the church.
Cheers.
Coming up,
You think that one's good?
the guests try the wine.
Colder. Yeah, it needs to be colder.
And at the historic church, Joe spells out the problem with the venue.
One time in the past, poor Sarah here had a coach load of tourists turn up.
It's the height of the wedding season in Cyprus, and planner Angela is finalising the details of Laura and Chris's 80-guest wedding. It's at the same luxury Paphos hotel that they're staying at.
Laura and Chris's wedding is quite big. They have a cocktail party the night before the wedding. There's a lot of work involved because it's 2 events. It's a bit manic, yeah, just a bit.
First job is to sort out father of the bride Bill's staffing requests.
They've also met another member of staff that they've requested since the welcome meeting. I've arrived at the hotel today and we've had another request for a member of staff.
Angela now needs to ensure that all 3 employees are rostered to work on the wedding.
Daniel, the love of my life. Where are you supposed to be working?
Downstairs, the rooftop.
On the rooftop, so you're going to be all right. Where are you working, Nikki?
Upstairs.
So you're going to be fine, so we don't have to change that over.
No.
So you happy? Anybody here? No, ghost town. Leave a note for edit. Can you work on Laura and Chris's wedding? Smiley face. Make her feel loved. So we're 99.9% there on the staff. I'm hoping this will be the last of the requests because I'm fast running out of staff for this wedding. But we'll see what happens, you never know.
In the hotel restaurant, father of the bride Bill wants to make sure that the wine he's picked is spot on for the wedding.
So can we try the white wine first, please? Of course.
So what's the white wine that we're having?
The white wine's from a local vineyard, so we'd like to try that. Thank you very much. I have some very close friends who I think have got a very good taste in wine. I just want to get it right for my friends, and they will tell me if I've got it right or wrong.
So how many white wines have we got in total then?
I think we're getting lost with the amount. I think we've now got about 4 or 5, maybe 6.
We've not had this one before, so this is a new one for us.
Oh, this would be nice.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's really nice.
Dad loves wine, so he knows how to taste the wine, so he will make sure that we've got the right ones for our guests.
I mean, always delegate the task to people that are better qualified, so I'm quite happy to do this with Bill.
But connoisseur Dad thinks it all could be better.
I think it needs to be cooler. I think if it was colder...
That's nice.
I think it'd be...
Sometimes when it's more colder, you not understand the aroma and all the flavours.
Yes, but in England, we like cold. We like cold.
This is the opinion?
Yes. So I'll make sure that we have it nice and cold when the big day comes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very easy to have.
Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Happy wedding day.
Now all Bill has to do is wait and see if the guests agree with his choices. The expense of a wedding is one of the main reasons couples are choosing to get married abroad. The average UK wedding costs around £26,000. In Cyprus, it's £9,000. For the last 11 years, wedding planners Sue Hall and her daughter Katie have helped hundreds of happy couples marry on the island.
Before I became a wedding planner, I had a fairly high-powered city job in London. But I actually hated doing that, to be honest, and then we moved out to Cyprus.
And it wasn't long before mother and daughter set up in the wedding business.
Working with Mum is good. We have our ups and downs, we argue, but we get on very well, so I love it, really.
I might get in a minute.
Entrusting their dream wedding to Sue and Katie are 30-year-olds Caroline, a test analyst, and risk manager Paul from Scotland.
Can it be played? Yeah, not bad.
Their wedding ceremony will be on St George's Beach, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, followed by a taverna reception. Their budget, £5,500. Caroline and Paul have been together 9 years.
Paul used to work down in our local pub. We used to drink there, just me and my friends, and it just kind of caught each other's eyes and love at first sight, you know?
And the proposal was just as romantic.
We were like playing kind of drinking games, and Paul decided to get all these balloons, and you had to like pop a balloon, and inside it would be like a little message or a forfeit, like, you know. And then eventually it was my turn, popped the balloon, and it had a wee message, will you marry me? And I turned round and you were down on one knee with the little ring in your hand.
Original. I think it was original.
It's different.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Finally.
With 4 days to go before the wedding, there's plenty still to sort out with Sue and Katie.
Right, shall we go and sit down and have a quick chat about...
And that includes everything from the wedding reception to the wee bit of Scottish tradition they've added to the ceremony.
The tying of the knot thing, we haven't had one of those before, so explain to me.
Well, we don't really know how to do it yet, but it's like it's quite...
It's like a traditional Scottish
Right.
type of thing, and it's just about tying the two families together. So
it's basically we put our hands together and it's us tying...
What do you tie round?
It's a bit of tartan.
Is there a special way you're meant to tie it then?
Yeah, which we're not sure.
in a certain way.
Have you YouTubed it to see?
Not yet.
Okay. That'd be interesting.
I think you go, you
pull.
lean back a wee bit.
Yeah.
Oh, do you? Hopefully you won't fall over. And then we'll go to Doria.
At least there's still time to practice. Right now, there's a bigger issue.
Right, well, I think we've probably done all we can do here, haven't we? We can go and see your venue.
Having only seen pictures of their beachside taverna, Caroline and Paul are worried it won't be up to scratch.
It's got to look clean. If we turn up there and it doesn't look clean, tidy, all that type of stuff, then that would probably be a bit of a red flag type of thing for me.
We're always a little nervous, aren't we, when we take them to see the reception, because it's a very personal taste, isn't it? What I might think is fabulous, other people may not like at all. Fingers crossed they'll be fine.
Toes and everything crossed.
In the harbour town of Paphos, Rachel and Philip have chosen historic St Paul's Church for their wedding ceremony. They're about to meet planner Joe, but before she can discuss the tourists, they've already clocked the problem.
As you can see, there's actually people viewing the site, which unfortunately we can't do anything about.
It is open to the public and anybody could walk in at any second throughout the ceremony.
So here we are. Isn't it amazing?
It's too late to change the venue, but Jo has a plan to stop the ceremony being interrupted.
One time in the past, poor Sarah here, when we had a church wedding on, she had a coach load of tourists turn up, but that's where myself and Sarah come into play. If we do have anyone that insists that they want to come in, we'll be outside and we'll deal with that, OK? That's not for you guys to worry about. This old doorway is no longer in use, OK? So it's the side entrance in and then straight up to the ceremony area.
I mean, it's quite quiet really, not many people about, but tomorrow could be totally different and could have 5 coaches turning up with everyone demanding to come into the church.
Oh, fiddle-dee-do.
At a luxury Paphos hotel, it's the evening before Chris and Laura's lavish wedding. And planner Angela is preparing a welcome party for their friends and family.
Oh. I've been in the pool to get a piece of paper out. Plastic cup.
The party is very much a rehearsal for tomorrow's wedding, so Angela wants everything just so.
Napkins. Chef will come to do the food. Bar, everything's stocked, drinks are there, wine's on ice. Pool's clean, floor's clean. My role is making sure everything is 100% perfect, and I will get perfection from the staff.
Someone Angela particularly wants to impress is father of the bride, Bill,
Come on, Bill, let's party.
who's been helping plan the wedding.
It's now totally out of my hands. It's now down to Angela and her team. So fingers crossed. They've assured me everything's in place.
Tonight's also a trial run for Bill's wine choices. Will his knowledgeable friends give his selection the thumbs up?
Do you think that one's good? Or
Yes, but the wine
needs to be cold. Colder. Yeah, it needs to be colder. I did. Yeah, we need to have that cold. That's what I said. It needs to be cold.
Delicious.
Let him try some red.
Wine list sorted.
Cheers.
And with the party going well, Angela's job is done. For now, that is.
I'm absolutely exhausted. It's been a long day. I'm going to go home, have a nice cold shower, go to bed and get ready for round 2 tomorrow.
Coming up, there's tears at one wedding.
We can't cry.
And big worries about tourists at another.
I can see quite a lot of people. Let's hope in an hour's time it's less busy, but I'll have to deal with that as and when.
On the west coast of Cyprus at St George's Beach.
Right, here we are.
Planner Sue is taking Scottish couple Paul and Caroline to see their wedding venue for the first time.
Right, obviously it's not decorated at the moment. This is how it is normally.
And they're not giving anything away.
This part here and most of the area down there will be yours for the evening.
What's the chances of having, like, just normal patrons of the
If
of the
there
restaurant?
are any, they'll put them at the other end.
Right. So we're not going to have, like, the sort of end of a table with a...
No, no. Normally they put plants across, so it's like
Just
sort of
segregated type
partitioned,
thing.
yeah.
Is this quite a busy road?
No, it's a dead end. It's literally over there, so it's brilliant for sunset because you're in the perfect position for it. So, what do you think then?
Absolutely
like
love it.
Yep.
I think it's really, really nice.
Go for that.
It's absolutely stunning, and I think like it's hard to tell what it's going to look like when it's all decorated, but I think it'll look even nicer than.
I think once all the table decorations and things like that are out, it's going to look really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is when no one's here type of thing, so I'm sure when guests start arriving, it's going to be absolutely great.
I think they're going to be happy. They love the sea view, don't they?
Oh yeah, they do.
So, the venue's sorted, but Caroline and Paul are struggling with the Scottish tradition they've chosen for their ceremony.
Instructions. How to tie a Scottish knot. Put your hands together.
Can you put the other one over me?
Well, we're going to have a slight problem because they've got 3 bits. And you've only got 2. Right, under, over.
Oh no, it's only half over and then under. Oh God, that's going to get complicated. So you need to go through the top bits.
Well, this is way complex.
Paul,
Well, she just got punched in the face and everything. That's how complex it is.
Please don't punch me in the face.
The tying of the knot was most certainly Caroline's idea. But to be fair, an idea I was on board with as well.
On the plus side, they've got 3 more days to practice. At a luxury Paphos hotel, it's the morning of Laura and Chris's lavish wedding. And with less than 4 hours to go, planner Angela is already feeling the pressure.
They've not got covers on chairs. Oh, fleming Nora. Supposed to be ready for 12 o'clock.
The beachside pergola isn't ready for the wedding.
They've not put my curtains up, the chair covers are not on, but hey-ho. We're about 30 minutes behind.
With 80 chairs to do, Angela needs all hands on deck.
Come on then, let's rock and roll. Come on, Batman. Go, 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 go. The staff's running behind because it's one of the busiest times of the year. We all do what we can to help.
And she's not got long. The wedding party is sprucing up and donning its glad rags.
I'm running behind, but I've still got 15 minutes I can play with.
But at least one thing has gone to plan. She's managed to get the stuff the bride's father, Bill, requested.
I'm extremely happy. I don't think Dad would have forgiven me if I didn't get all the stuff.
After 2 years of research, planning and negotiating,
Just wait there, Dad. Don't move any further.
Bill finally gets to see his daughter in her wedding dress.
Oh, this is...
I'm more nervous than Laura for this bit.
Yeah, I'm getting emotional.
On that settee thing a bit more. 3. We can't cry.
Lovely.
Laura and Chris have flown 4,000 miles from their home in China. Now it's time for them to become husband and wife.
I, Christopher Main, accept you, Laura Treven, as my lawful spouse, to love and to share with you from this day.
I, Laura Treven, accept you, Christopher Main, as my lawful spouse, until death do separate us.
As from this moment, I pronounce you man and wife. Now may kiss your wife.
The party starts. And it seems Dad's choice of wine has gone down well.
This is it. This is the best day of our lives to date. So can't wait for the next step, really, and what a jumping off point.
My dad stepped back this morning, so he clearly let me have the day to myself. It's been amazing. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It's just been perfect.
Today has been a long day, exhausting. Bride and groom are very happy, and Bill's happy as well, which has made me happy. All I can say is I'm going to fall in love with my pillow.
It's the morning of Rachel and Philip's church wedding at the historic St. Paul's in Paphos. With just hours to go, everything's organised, except the groom. who still hasn't written his speech.
I've been putting it off, and every time I come to sit down to write it, something happens and it gets pushed to one side, so here goes. Pen's broke. Great.
Good morning, Sig.
Morning.
Would you like a drink?
You wouldn't have a spare pen that I could borrow? I'm trying to write my speech for my wedding today.
Getting married?
Getting married, yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You got pen, sir.
Lovely.
Cheers.
This will help.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
While Philip hastily scribbles away, Planner Joe's heading to the ancient church. As it's open to the public, she needs to check if any coach tours are likely to impact on the wedding.
We've actually got a wedding on at the moment, and I can see quite a lot of people, members of the public, in and out of the church, so it's looking quite busy. Let's hope in an hour's time it's less busy, but I'll have to deal with that as and when.
With the speech finally written, Philip meets up with his mum.
You all right?
Who offers some advice.
You've got your cue cards and you know what we're doing now, don't you? It's easy to read them like that, and when you've done that, try and look up as you're saying your speech as well. But why have we got number 2 there?
Doing order, Mum. 1, 2.
Yeah, I know, but number 1's missing. Where's number 1?
I've actually dropped one of the cards for the speeches, which is a bit of a nightmare. Now it's too late to do anything about it, so we'll just see what happens.
The previously super cool Philip is feeling the heat.
Okay.
Come on.
As well as losing part of his speech, he might also be losing his way.
Yeah, have you found them all right?
The transport company were expecting to pick him and his family up from the hotel, not the local taverna.
Bye. We are running 5-10 minutes behind now. 5-10 minutes will have an impact because we've only got the church and the grounds for 1 hour.
The average time spent planning a wedding is 12 months, with most couples incorporating their own personal touches, like Scottish couple Paul and Caroline.
Remember I look up?
Their 6-year-old son Jaden is stepping up to give his mum away, as her dad can't make it to the wedding.
Remember, Mummy, I'll have some flowers. What we'll do is pretend I've got flowers. I think it's a really big deal, like having Jaden walk me down the aisle. We've got a little sign for him to say, "Daddy, here comes your bride." So I think that'll look really cute, and like when Paul first sees us both walking down, it'll be quite a special moment, I think, between the 3 of us.
But for that special moment to happen, Caroline needs to get Jaden fully up to wedding speed.
And then we'll take a step together. I think with Jaden, like, he does get really nervous around people, and especially if there's a lot of people looking at him, he feels a lot like under pressure. And we can smile rather than looking grumpy, so he can be like, and you could even wave. So we've practiced it a few times in the house, but I think kids being kids, he just wants to run straight down the aisle. We'll try it a little bit faster. It's just making him aware you need to take it nice and slowly because I can't walk down myself. And I don't want to like trip up and fall and stuff, so I think it's just getting him to sort of relax a little bit and not get too shy, not get too nervous. So I think on the day we're just going to have to wing it, really.
Caroline and Paul have also written their own vows.
I don't know what his are, he doesn't know what mine are, so we'll find out on the day. Hopefully you cry.
Planner Sue is the only person who knows what each of them has written.
I've done an order of service where I've actually printed the sequence of events and I've actually printed the vows. These are Paul's to Caroline. These are quite funny.
I just hope that you've not took yours as, like, too seriously. It's all I can say. Mine's is still nice. Still love you.
That'd be funny.
First line of Paul's vows to Caroline. I promise to leave my dishes directly next to the dishwasher. I promise to leave my clothes in piles around our home.
It's not funny.
It's serious.
It is serious.
It's too late for changes now. Hopefully Caroline will see the funny side on the big day.
I don't know what she's going to make of that, but it's quite sweet.
Coming up, will groom Philip make it to the church on time?
So I just need to keep an eye out for Phil. I've got his buttonhole here at the ready.
And
Hello, hello, please work.
a sound problem for planner Sue.
You sure you got them the right way round? I could swear a lot now.
On the west coast of Cyprus, at St George's Beach, it's the day of Scottish couple Caroline and Paul's wedding. And with less than 4 hours to go, planner Sue has got a problem.
It's a bit of a wind, which is good, because it keeps people cool, but it won't be good if our sound system doesn't work. Please work. Hello. Hello, hello, please work. I could swear a lot now. You sure you got them the right way round?
Yeah. It's coming the signal.
Hello. You got it in the right mode here.
She needs to sort the mic out quickly to avoid disaster.
Oh, hello. Something's happening. Hello. Oh. Hello. You have to stand there like that. Hello. It's working. The long and short of it is, I don't know if the mic's going to work or not. Fingers crossed it actually works, but, you know, until we get to the actual ceremony, I just don't know.
Across town, groom-to-be Paul is facing troubles of his own.
Have you ever seen this before?
One for Braveheart, maybe?
I think it is actually a Braveheart.
At the last minute, he's drafted in his best man, Greg. He will be helping the bride and groom tie a traditional Scottish knot during the ceremony.
And I'm assuming you would like this side down.
The only time I've ever seen it's probably in Braveheart, so as long as I can do it as well as Mel Gibson, then I'll be quite happy with that. I'll try and not drop it.
We've not practiced yet, and I think we're about to leave in about an hour.
So I'll do it like this.
Right, so bring it up and then round. Boys being boys, leave it till the last minute and we'll nail it, I'll be fine.
Round there, and you want it round again?
No, go back to the start.
No, it's not that one, is it? What do you
No,
need?
the one you've got in your hand. Right.
Where do you want the second one again?
Right, start again. Just take your time, there's no rush. I have undoubtedly full confidence that Greg will pull this off.
In historic Paphos town, bride Rachel and her dad are on their way to the ancient St Paul's Church, where she's about to marry Philip. But he's not there.
So I just need to keep an eye out for Phil. I've got his buttonhole here at the ready.
He's 5 miles away. The transport company have tracked down the groom and family in a local taverna.
Ah, OK, fantastic. So they found them. All right, thank you. Here they are.
Just 2 minutes ahead of the bride, the groom finally appears.
In you go. Go and relax for 2 minutes.
With that sorted, Planner Joe guards the entrance to stop the tourists spoiling the vows.
Do not enter.
It's time for Rachel and Philip to become husband and wife. Hopefully, without interruptions.
Welcome everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to Cyprus and welcome to Agia Kyriaki.
It's a wedding, yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Wedding, yes. We'll get married. Hi, sorry. Sorry, we've got a wedding on today. If I could just please 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Maybe 10. 10 minutes is okay.
Can we all please stand?
Their marriage is witnessed by just family and friends. And thanks to Joe, no tourists.
Philip, do you take Rachel to be your wife? Do you promise to be true to her in sickness and in health, to love her and honor her all the days of your life?
I do.
Rachel, do you promise to love him and honor him all the days of your life?
I do.
You may kiss the bride.
Now husband and wife, the celebrations begin.
Have fun, guys!
First, a champagne tour. Next, it's Philip's speech, written just a matter of hours ago. Can he pull it off?
First of all, we'd like to thank Dave and Carol for all the help you've given us with the boys over the last 3 days while we're trying to finalise things.
Only 3 days?
No, well, we've been in Cyprus.
It's been 5.
3 days while we're in Cyprus.
It's hard enough, without interruption from the new missus.
So moving on to my wife.
He soon gets into his stride and finds just the right words.
I love you with all my heart, Rach. And I am the happiest man on the planet today. Please raise your glasses. Mrs. Pickerel.
Mrs. Pickerel!
Well done, son.
It's the end of a hectic day for Planner Joe.
Today it's been absolutely lovely. Phil and Rachel are just a pleasure to have helped with our wedding. So yeah, I couldn't have wished for a nicer day, really.
The day was exactly how we planned it. We couldn't have asked for a better day.
Yeah,
Definitely
absolutely
not.
amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
At her hotel in central Paphos, Scottish bride-to-be Caroline is ready to leave for her beach wedding. But planner Katie has a problem.
So the bus has left without the bridesmaids. Hello, Louis. Louis, your bus has left the Olympic Lagoon and no one got on it.
The bus is coming back.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
The bus is supposed to be coming back to pick the bridesmaids up. It's not supposed to be coming back. All right, then, okay. They said they wanted a taxi because they wasn't ready.
As long as Caroline doesn't know anything about it.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
So they're going to send you a 12-seater minibus.
That's fine.
And it won't be very long.
To be honest, this morning went far too smoothly.
Way too smoothly.
Hopefully they'll get there.
Never mind.
We'll be fine.
At least the groom's party are on time.
Sir, how do you put these on? Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, fine, thanks.
Good. Undo your shirt a bit.
And thanks to a replacement bus, the bridesmaids have also made it without being late. It's the bride and 6-year-old son Jaden's big moment. Jaden's done his bit. With a few last-minute adjustments, Sue's handing over the mic, hoping it'll work. Here goes.
Paul, from the moment I first saw you, I knew you were the one I wanted to share my life with. You've already given me the two greatest gifts of my life. Your love and our beautiful... and our beautiful little boy, Jaden.
Much to Sue's relief, the microphone is working. Now for Paul and his unusual vows.
Oh, Jesus. Caroline, I promise to leave my dishes directly next to the dishwasher, and I promise to leave my clothes in piles around our home. I promise to leave the lights on always, but today I promise to love you. I never leave you alone, and I vow to love you always, through the good, the bad, and the tough.
I think he got away with that.
As from this moment, I pronounce you husband and wife. You can kiss your wife, Paul.
These are the hands of your best friend.
Last but not least, that complicated Scottish knot.
Passionately love you.
Ready?
Nailed the knot, so I think Paul and Caroline were pretty happy with the outcome, so quite delighted with that.
The knot is tied, vows have been made, and as Caroline and Paul's celebrations continue into the night, it's the end of a long, hot day for planners Sue and Katie.
It was a good wedding, wasn't it?
The wedding was very good.
Seemed to be enjoying themselves. They're all up and dancing, which is always good. So, yeah, it was a great wedding. The next plan is go home, get in that pool, large gin and tonic, and bed.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, the day's been a real success. At the end of the day, it just comes down to me, you, Jayden, just sort of rolling on for the rest of our lives. It really is about that now, and what a great way to start it off.
Next time, a couple get a nagging feeling about their transport.
Traffic is going to be horrendous. What happens if a car hits the horse? The bride and groom are bolted out of the carriage.
And a wedding party has to weather a storm.
Come on. Right, watch the puddles, guys.